Building a long-term, stable relationship with your partner takes a lot of work, especially if you're breaking up all the time. And according to recent studies, the endless on-again, off-again cycle can also be bad for your health. When it comes to relationships, nothing is quite as emotionally taxing as an on-again, off-again one. One moment, you're both happily getting along, the next, you're at each other's throats. So you break up, you grieve, you say horrible things to each other, then you get back together, just so you can repeat the same cycle in a few weeks or months. Trying to break free from an on-again, off-again relationship may be on par with trying to escape Alcatraz. But while that's true, far too many people find themselves in these turbulent waters. According to a 2011 study published in the Journal of Social Psychology, 60% of adults have experienced an on-again, off-again relationship. Additionally, a 2021 study published in Family Relations found that just over 33% of same-sex and different-sex couples had broken up at least once in their current relationship. But while it may work for some, rekindling a relationship with a past love over and over again isn't healthy.
We've been broken up for like 2 years, man. I don't want to date you anymore.
Following a breakup, it can be tempting to think that the second time around, the relationship will be better. Unfortunately, this may not be the best decision for your mental health. One 2018 study published in Family Relations that analyzed 545 people in relationships found that those who had been through a previous breakup with their partner experienced higher levels of distress, including emotional and mental health issues. Much of that has to do with the instability that these situations cause. When you're truly broken up, you at least have the assurance that the relationship is over. But when you're back together, the new relationship may be on shaky ground, either from past resentment or anxieties about whether it will work this time. If the relationship had issues that were left unresolved the first time, there's the possibility that one person isn't truly over it. This person may also just be getting back into the relationship for convenience. When a person takes someone back without any hesitation or consequences, it subtly communicates to their ex that they're forgiving them for their behavior. And though some people are capable of changing, if the couple doesn't talk it through, they may be at risk for falling into toxic behaviors.
It's over. This twisted, toxic thing between us is finally finished.
According to a 2013 study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family, young adults involved in on-again, off-again relationships are twice as likely to report physical abuse and 50% more likely to report verbal abuse than those in stable relationships. It's also worth noting, this study wasn't the only one to find a correlation between instability and abuse. A separate 2018 study published in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence found that among people who had experienced abuse from their partner, relationship churners are overrepresented. In other words, something about these on-again, off-again relationships leaves such a lasting impact that even if one can break the cycle, they're still more likely to end up in abusive relationships. Furthermore, a 2012 study conducted at Kansas State University found a boatload of negative effects from relationship cycling. Not only did the research find that these relationships reported poor communication and low partner satisfaction, they also contributed to impulsive decision-making, like getting married or having a baby without planning. The research also found that people in these relationships have lower self-esteem and higher rates of uncertainty about the future. When a person has serious doubts about their future with their partner, but still decides to have kids with them, that's the very definition of a disaster waiting to happen. On-again, off-again relationships also hinder personal growth. From every relationship we have, romantic or otherwise, we learn a lesson that's essential to our evolution as human beings. But when you keep going back to the same person, the same bad habits, or the same toxic atmosphere, your ability to evolve and grow is thrown off course. You remain forever the same. According to a 2013 study published in PLOS One, as much as breakups may take a toll on our heart, they're fantastic for helping us to evolve in a healthy and productive way. The research included 2 studies that found that breakup distress was important for personal growth. This is because it promotes the necessary cognitive work that needs to be done after a breakup. like self-reflection. You simply can't get that if you have one person in your life on repeat. Of course, there are those on-again, off-again relationships that are able to prove the science wrong, but they are few and far between. Also, these relationships very likely involve two mindful people who are dedicated to bettering themselves and each other after every breakup. That's something that takes a lot of self-awareness and work. And loads of therapy, too.